Friend of mine is play-by-play for my Seattle Mariners on both TV and radio, as well as Fox Sports, MLB, college basketball and football as well. Play-by-play man calling Friday night's mega matchup between number 9 BYU, number 21 Boise State. He's also a man I consult with regarding hair products. His name's Aaron Goldsmith. He's on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline. Aaron, it's great to have you on the show, man.
Hey, obviously my consultations have been working out for you. It's good to see you as well, man.
Yes, absolutely. I'm stoked that you're getting the call for this game. This has been an ESPN game, but new deal with the league, CBS and Fox, and all the home games for Boise State are Fox. So here we go. You got a good one. This is the biggest game of the season for BYU, hoping to do something special here.
Can I use mega matchup in the open, by the way?
You use whatever you want.
I'm using, that's not trademarked. I'm using mega matchup in the open. I can't wait for this one. This is going to be so much fun. I was thinking about it earlier this morning. And I mean, you know this from being around broadcasts all the time. Every game always means everything to the two teams playing, but it doesn't always mean that it has great ramifications throughout their respective league, conference, the sport itself, no matter what you're talking about. But in this particular case, not only does this game mean everything to Boise State and to BYU, but the ramifications of it in terms of New Year's Six Bowls, I know that's something you've been talking about all week, I'm sure, and possibly college football playoff. If you want to look at a Heisman race that Zach Wilson is trying to not be as much of a dark horse in, but be a front of the line guy. I mean, there's so many storylines for this game. I can't wait for it. It's going to be great. I wish we could be there. We're calling the game out of the Fox studios in LA. So we're dodging some like 28-degree weather, I'm guessing, in Boise. But we don't get to see the Smurf turf in person, which is too bad.
Yeah, it'd be cool. And there will be some fans in there. We learned kind of last night, right? So what's like calling a game remotely? Because there's a lot as a fellow play-by-play, not at your level, of course, but you take in the energy, right? And you kind of transmit that to the audience. But now you're in a studio trying to do your best.
Yeah, this will be my first football game done remotely. I've done a number of them with baseball remotely, both with Fox and during the whole baseball season for the Seattle Mariners. And with baseball, you kind of got used to it. I feel like the pace of the game lends itself that you could do it remotely kind of okay, especially with there's just obviously so much downtime. But with football, there's obviously the pace is quicker. It's more exact in terms of markers and where the ball is and what the ramifications of each spot might be. I'm really curious what it's going to look like. Hopefully, people at home won't know that we're in LA and not in Boise. That's the goal.
BYU 7-0, trying to get to 8-0 for just the fourth time ever. You talked about the stakes, college football playoff conversation, New Year's Six, Heisman and whatnot. What have you thought of what BYU has done this year, and certainly a unique schedule?
Well, it's unique for sure. I'm disappointed for BYU, for the program, for their fans. They did not get a chance to see the original schedule played out. I mean, I'm sure you could go through the archives of BYU independent history, but this was looking like maybe the most formidable independent schedule that BYU had put together. So to not see that be able to play out is a shame. You can't fault BYU for playing who they were able to scramble and get. But obviously, the stakes of this game in terms of the schedule are the Cougars 7-0 because of their talent, or are they 7-0 because of who they played? So if you lose this game, the narrative for everyone who matters is going to be, well, they're 7-0 because of who they played. But if you can go onto the blue and win in a place that you've never won before against a really good team, obviously, not only this year, but year in and year out, all of a sudden, now the rest of the season looks pretty good. I know the guys inside the locker room aren't looking that far ahead, but this is a massive game from that perspective, as you know as well as I do.
Zach Wilson has been incredible this year. We thought he'd be better as a junior and when his thumb healed, but the leap that he's taken has been unbelievable. I mean, yesterday, PFF says projected mock draft, 3rd pick to the Jaguars. Earlier in the week, 9th pick to the Patriots. We're going, oh my gosh. So I'm just counting the games till he's gone because, yeah, he's going to be gone. What have you thought of what he's done this year at quarterback?
Well, it's pretty amazing. I heard somebody asking Kalani Sitake about it and basically saying, like, man, where did this guy come from? And I can understand why somebody who hasn't been dialed in to BYU football year in and year out, or at least the last 2 years entering this year, would feel like this guy just kind of like fell from the sky into Provo and is putting up these incredible numbers and doing it with a flash and a flare that you kind of can't teach, right? Like you have it or you don't. But when you start to learn his story a little bit more, you realize that this was a guy who had a lot of these attributes the last couple of years, but is now finally healthy. So now he's healthy. Labrum's healthy. The thumb is healthy. What doesn't get talked about nearly enough, I think, around college football probably is he's got the same staff by and large, right? I mean, This is the same system. This is not something he's having to learn. Now that he's healthy, he's got another hurdle. No, it's all there. It's all laid out for him. He's got some playmakers, even though obviously BYU has lost essentially its top 4 receivers from a year ago. But the way he goes about it and the entertaining nature that he has to do it makes it kind of must-see TV. So I'm thrilled to be able to watch him in person, because you don't see guys who can put the ball where they want to as often as he does, and throwing a ball underhand every once in a while as well.
Yeah, that's always fun. Think about it. If he's a Heisman finalist, they may play some highlights and your voice would be on that. So I think you just really need to focus on those deep balls, right?
Okay, now you're going to make me overthink it. Now, come
on. Let's look at some personnel notes for this, because it's interesting. Obviously, Boise State, we're trying to see which quarterback's going to play. Hank Bachmeier plays the first one, doesn't play the second one. They don't tell why, but feels like it's hinting an obvious direction, right? Jack Sears, the USC transfer, who didn't even play football last year. He's just going to USC, carves up Air Force. Then the running back, George Holani, he gets hurt. Andrew Van Buren steps in. BYU, Zane Anderson. Ankle questionable. Gunnar Romney. There's a lot on both sides. It'll be interesting to see who rolls out there.
Yeah, I agree. The Jack Sears situation, if somebody you were to say to just average BYU fan who hasn't been keeping up with Boise State football, say like, hey, yeah, Boise State's got their backup going. You might be licking their chops, but this is not your typical backup quarterback, as we saw a week ago against Air Force. Anytime you can face a top 25 team that does not have their starting backfield, you feel a lot better about it in terms of BYU looking at Boise State. But when you're talking about a perennial power like Boise State, you know that the guys next man up are not dogs exactly, and that's the case with Boise State. So game time decisions from a broadcaster standpoint are never as much fun as knowing exactly who's going to play when you board that and you step into the booth. But I think for both sides, it will be curious to find out an hour to kick exactly how guys are shaping up and who's going to be able to suit up and go full speed. And as we mentioned before, I mean, it is not looking like it's going to be especially warm in Boise. I know Gunnar has the hamstring issue. How will that affect things? So not just so much at kickoff, but as the game progresses as well for some of those guys.
Talking with Aaron Goldsmith, first and foremost, he's a Mariners play-by-play to me. He also works for Fox Sports. He's calling the game tomorrow night. Aaron, what other storylines are you looking at in this one?
Well, for me, the biggest thing that I'm wanting to see how it plays out, and it's the final scores, so that's not much of a fun storyline in terms of getting deep in the weeds. But from a BYU perspective, let's focus on that. You now have things lined up and set up as you wanted if you're a BYU fan, right? I mean, since you've gone independent, now you have a chance to have essentially all eyes on BYU football and kind of what you're hoping to see happen when the move was made. And not only that, this isn't a Saturday game where you're going to get lost with Clemson or top matchups. Friday night, all eyes of college football will be on you. So if you want to make that case for a New Year's Six Bowl, if you want to make that case to get in the conversation for the college football playoff, man, everybody's watching. Everybody has their eyes on you. And it's up to you as to whether or not this can be a good thing or a bad thing, right? Great thing. Everybody's watching. You come out of the blue with a W, and now all of a sudden you continue to be one of the main headlines in college football. It goes the other way, and so much of that momentum, I'm not going to say it's lost, but it all crescendos at this moment on a Friday night. So it's I can't imagine the narrative of this is just another game, but I know that that's what everybody will say inside that locker room is that this is just another game.
In terms of result, you called Penn State Indiana. If it comes down to the wire like that, I think you'd be pleased, right?
It's funny. Broadcasters get railed on all the time that they have an agenda, that they have a bias. And hey, we're all the same. All we want is for the game to come down to the final play, and that we can make our flight home in time. That's it. Just have the game come down to the final play. Yeah, and don't make us rebook. I mean, that's it. That's all we need. Just an exciting game, and I think it will be, obviously.
Absolutely. Well, Aaron, this was really fun. We've connected a lot before this, never on the show. So good luck on the call. Let me know if you need any help on the Polynesian pronunciations, and we'll enjoy the call on FS1 tomorrow night.
Yeah, I didn't even believe you actually had a show. So this basement set that you have it's amazing. I still think the whole thing's a ruse. It's a ruse, but you made it look very official. So thank you.
Yeah, I personally did all this. No, but yeah, Aaron, we appreciate the time, man.
You got it. Good to talk to you, Jeremy.